Time now for The Lead, brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you are looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, all you have to do is check out Grand Prix Motorsports. They are located off of County Line Road. And
Santa Fe! I tried to do it a little differently that time.
Tulowitzki had some interesting comments to the Denver Post over the weekend on the expectations he is putting on himself, and he even said they are self-imposed expectations. I will read you a few excerpts, and then let's dig into it a little bit.
Okay.
Saying he's feeling a lot of pressure to perform and to stay healthy. He feels nervous because he knows the window for winning a title is getting shorter, and playing for another team might be his best opportunity to win a title. Let's start it off with he's feeling a lot of pressure on himself to stay healthy, because honestly, we talked about it on the show. I don't know if you were here that day. I liken Peyton Manning a lot to Troy Tulowitzki. Two very cerebral guys, uptight guys. You know, Manning in big games, it just seems he gets a little bit tense, although his numbers have been okay.
Right.
With Tulowitzki, he seems to turn that bat into sawdust when you put him in a clutch situation.
Yeah, it's fascinating how some guys shrink in those situations and some guys don't. But for the most part, performing doesn't seem to be the issue for Tulo, but staying healthy is. And, you know, you said you start to use my line. That's durability is more important than ability.
No question.
Your ability to be available to your team. And that's why he got the big deal to perform, but also with the thought that you would be available to perform for your team. So he's got to find a way. I'm not sure if it's with the strength coach or all the different gurus guys have, or somehow, you know, dealing with all these lower leg injuries and being able to perform game in and game out. I don't know what else to say other than he just has to find a way to be healthy, because otherwise, as much as he's talking about moving on perhaps for himself because doesn't see the Rockies organization is going in the right direction, I'm sure the Rockies organization is probably going to want to go in a different direction as well. We're paying lots of money. We're not getting the availability that we want, and we can use that money for other guys who can perhaps be healthier and play game in and game out.
I'll give you one reason why I think that Tulowitzki is injured quite a bit.
Okay.
Baseball players don't play it violently, is the best way to put it. They don't swing necessarily violently in the cage, violently at the plate. They don't play a violent type of game when they field. That is the way Tulowitzki plays. Everything is 100% every play. It's not to take away from any other players ever played Major League Baseball, but when he pirouettes, he's the guy, and I think most people knew this guy in their neighborhood growing up. You ever play catch with the kid and you're about 10 feet from him? And that's and you always played with that kid who would throw it as hard as he could, no matter how close you were to him. To me, that's Troy Tulowitzki. And I'm wondering, because he runs that hard and throws that hard, that's why he constantly has soft tissue injuries.
That could be a factor, but if that is the case, and it seems to be the case,
right,
then discretion is the better part of valor.
Right.
And that was something the coach told me a long time ago. Chad, if you've banged your shoulder up in the first quarter, don't go slamming into somebody for the rest of the game, because then we can't have you next game, or you won't be able to finish this game.
That's a good point.
You're that much better than the guy who is the backup. So if you can't go, we'll play the backup. But if you can alter your game and still be effective, you know, to 85 or 90% of what you would be when you're healthy, then do that. So I'm fine for you to lose that individual battle as long as we win the game and as long as you are available for us all season long. So you got to pick your spots here and there. And as an athlete, it's hard because you want to show your best. You always want to give your best. You've been taught since you were 6 years old to play, not 100%, 1,000%, and all those exaggerations everyone always says. I'm going to get 110%. I'm never sure how that was possible.
Right. I've always believed that with hard work, you can make it 111.
Mine goes to 11 as well.
Ooh,
yes.
Nice.
Spinal tap.
Nice reference.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. But you've got to find a way. If your speakers are blown, you can't always go to 11.
But mine goes to 11.
Yes, you got to keep it at 8. Allowed maybe 8.5. So Tulo's got to find a way to do that.
Do you have a concern that Tulowitzki is going to wind up like Todd Helton, the guy who plays his career with one team and doesn't win anything? I mean, let's face it. The Rockies did get to a World Series. Personally, I call it a fluke. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see again what the Rockies did. I don't think another team is going to do that.
Was that 21 or 22 straight to end the season, something like that?
To end the season, it was like I think it was 13 of 14, 14 of 15, and then they swept their way through the playoffs, sweeping the Phillies, sweeping the Diamondbacks. So they won 7 straight on top of that.
Okay.
So something crazy like that. Do you think he winds up like Todd Helton?
Well, the fact that he's willing to say before the season starts, maybe it's, maybe I need to be with another team, doesn't make me think that's going to be something that he accepts. As a competitor, winning is important to everybody. And he's not some homegrown guy who wants to take the Rockies and put them on his back.
Right.
If he's got to leave to win, he's going to leave to win. And as an athlete who loved winning, the most important part of playing was winning. Right. I respect that.
All right, that segment was brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you're looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, go down to Grand Prix Motorsports. Do what Jeff did. Go get yourself an Indian Classic. You can find Grand Prix Motorsports off of County Line Road and
Santa Fe.